She'll ask you lots of questions to find out who you are, to make you feel like a star. She doesn't care if you animate on the ones or the twos. She just wants to get to know the real you. Oh, yes to that. The animator's friend, she's with you to the end. She'll be your new best friend. After cocktails and coffee, the conversation is so carefree. She doesn't care if you animate on the ones or the twos. Just sit back, relax, and time will fly by. Here we go.
Also, I want a full outfit shot because I worked hard and actually, once again, accidentally dressed up like the logo. I don't do this on purpose. I realize it way later that I'm like, oh, it's pink and brown. We're here at the Marvels of Media Festival at the Museum of Moving Image. Really excited to do our first red carpet correspondence, although we were a little bit off carpet for a lot of it tonight. But it's the 5th year that they're doing this festival that's focusing on celebrating autistic media makers. And there's lots of animation programmed into the festival. So we were really excited to be part of it. It's happening, it opens today, but it's happening like all weekend long through to the 28th. Tonight's the opening night program. And then there are 2 animations in the program. The theme is like the human condition. There's Too Many Options by Jack Leonard and Keith by Stephen Fraser. But there's other animations like tomorrow. There is a feature called Autistic Mode Dreamcatcher by Bob Clark. There's a family program on Saturday featuring work from Dylan Carbonell, Harry Shad, Ellis Rogers Archer, and Bryn Cheney. And then we were super excited to get to talk to Danny Bowman tonight, and she's showing work from her students as well on Saturday. And then there's also just like an exhibition showing lots of different work from different animators and filmmakers, more exhibition style. So there's work by Diala Muir. These are animation pieces. Diala Muir, Nano Burr, Robin Whisker Stilling, Arabella Hayward, and a VR project by Deborah Bergamini, Julio Mello, I think, and Henrique Ravelli.
Disease spread by the hairs.
I found this number.
If you need space for silence or contemplation.
He was always waiting for someone.
It was just supposed to be the 2 of us on this job. This is triage.
Hi, Danny. It's nice to meet you.
Really nice to meet you too.
My name is India. I have a podcast called The Animator's Friend. I'm a big fan, of course, of you from Love on the Spectrum, so I'm really excited to be talking with you. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about the program that you're doing at the festival this weekend with your...
I've been invited for the first time ever as the special ambassador for the 5th anniversary of the Marvels of Media Festival. Tonight I will be helping introduce the open up the ceremony and do a little reception, and then this Saturday at 2:00 we'll be showing 5 animated short films from Deanimation, plus a little panel discussion.
And can you tell us just like a little bit about Deanimation, because it's like an education platform?
We help educate, elevate, and empower people on the autism spectrum by helping them learn how to turn their passion in animation into careers by providing summer camps, one-on-one sessions, and animation productions. And the biggest project that we did was for Stanford University. For their, we created a total of 7 modules, educating doctors, clinicians, and other people in the health field about how to care for people on the autism spectrum the right way instead of the wrong way.
Yeah, such important work, and really glad that you're doing all that. And I'm sure it's really exciting to show all of your students' work, this weekend. And my podcast is like really kind of like silly fun questions for animators. So I've been dying to ask you a common question that I ask on my podcast. What's a character from an animation that you have a crush on, or that you used to have a crush on?
Well, that's a really good question. I used to have many cartoon crushes. I used to have a video game crush when I was in elementary school. 9-Volt from WarioWare, I would say.
Okay.
I was an elementary school kid at the time.
Yes, that's an interesting pick. And then also curious about what's your favorite animation? It could be TV, short film, feature film.
For a feature film, can you rephrase it again?
Like just your favorite like short animation or feature animation TV, just like your favorite piece of animation of all time.
Well, I have varieties of favorites, but I could tell one of my favorite animators, like Lauren Faust, Craig McCracken. I really love Sylvain Chomet, Jamie Hewitt, who does Gorillas, Darren Eckfey, Rebecca Sugar. Those are the list of my favorite animation artists. Oh, I forgot to mention Jorge Gutierrez is in the list too.
Oh yes, love him. And then last question, what do you think is underrated in general?
What is underrated in general? In general, it would be about people on the autism spectrum being animators. And while we see a lot of neurodiversity representation in the animation industry, like Jorge Gutierrez, we definitely do need more recognition of people on the spectrum who are like talented, can be capable animators telling stories.
Yeah. Agreed. And that's why this festival this weekend is so special, just like highlighting autistic media makers in all forms and everything. So yeah, excited for you this weekend. Happy to meet you. Jackson, nice to meet you. You are the ambassador for the event tonight. Is that correct? Or host? You're the host. You're the host.
I'm the host.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your role as host for the festival?
Yes, absolutely. So I am host for this beautiful opening night here at Marvels of Media. I am also part of the steering committee, and I'm a Marvels alumni myself. I actually had a film called Satan Cured My Autism that was in the very first year, and I'm very glad that they somehow decided to have me back. It's great to help shape the direction of the festival going forward. It's always a beautiful evening.
Yeah, it must be special to come back in this capacity.
Yes, very, very much so. I always love seeing new talent that's, whether they're just making their very first movie or there's somebody who has had multiple films in this festival. We've got a whole lot of repeat customers, I guess you would call them, who just continue to submit new films and new work to the festival. So there's really a place for everybody here.
Yeah, amazing. So we're here on the Animator's Friend podcast.
Very cool.
We're really into animation. We're into all the animation content at the festival this weekend. You like animation?
I do, very much so. I'm sure that's a trait I share with many of the other autistic people here as well. It's really terrific. I think animation is so special. I mean, I can hardly draw a straight line, but I think truly, the promise of animation is that you can focus on something very specific for a very long amount of time, and at the end, you turn out with something beautiful. And I think that's something that a whole lot of autistic people can really relate to.
Yeah, agreed. what's your favorite piece of animation of all time?
My favorite, that is a great question. You know, I'm very partial to the Triplets of Belleville. That came out when I was growing up, and it really, really imprinted on me. It's got a very special place in my heart. There's still nothing like it.
It's such a beautiful film. I love that too. That's got to be a favorite for me as well. Amazing. So yeah, we'll see you around. It was really great to meet you. And
Animator's Friend.
If you want to find it. And also the animator's friend is very pink centric. So you're perfect.
Yay. I love the film as well. Very
So you're the founder of the festival and also a MOMI trustee and formerly of AMC, all those favorite shows that we love to watch. My show's called The Animator's Friend. It's a podcast. We love, animators. But I'm curious to know more about why you started this festival and how it's grown over the last 5 years.
Thanks for asking. Yeah. So, it was probably 6 or 7 years ago. My son is neurodivergent. He's very intermediate, no surprise. And he's a writer and was doing fan fiction sort of mashups. And so I just sort of thought there's a different view that comes from people who are neurodivergent and very into animation. Very, very, very into animation.
Love animation.
and gets pissed off at me because I'm not sufficiently into animation. Although I have learned through him, actually, no kidding, and I've we've worked on some animated films.
You've worked through some hurdles to enjoy animation.
Yeah, no. But I've also, we did early on at IFC Films, we did Waking Life with Richard Linklater, Thing of Beauty. So that what brought me to it was his point of view. Yeah. And I was involved in MOMI, and I thought, what a good idea if we can affirm and elevate and expose the work.
Yeah, I love the mission of the festival. It's really great work that you guys are doing. And since it is an animation podcast, I want to ask you, what is your favorite animation of any kind?
I just was so struck by the ABC thing that was done by Cook just now. Oh, in the festival, you mean?
Or in general, but both. Let's say both.
General. Okay, yeah. In general, actually, you'll know all about this, but I'm not an expert in, I will say that this may be an odd answer, that Samurai Jack, maybe it's many people's, but I came to it and I just found its quietude and its elegance stunning. Yeah. Now, I'm probably not alone.
People love that show. Yeah. People love that show. So it's popular. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it. And
yeah.
my son a cell from it, of it, and put it up in his room because it's just so rapturous and beautiful. By the way, I do happen to love Waking Life.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty rare existential view of the world, I guess you'd call it. So that's pretty wonderful too. Yeah.
And then you were going to say that you have a favorite in the festival?
Well, there's not a favorite. I haven't seen even them all, but there was one there's one about the alphabet he's here, Nathan Cook, I think is his name. If you get a chance to look at it, I like the alphabet. Okay. And he likes the alphabet. And so I just thought it was lovely.
Yeah, amazing. Well, we're excited to enjoy everything.
Thanks so much for doing your thing. I should probably listen to it. Oh, good, wonderful. Yeah. Good, wonderful. Yeah. So I should ask you, it's not fair to ask you, but I'll go look online and ask what 10 animated things I should watch to be animation savvy.
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, yeah.
Okay, and then there's also I forget whose name it is, but there are a series of instructional videos for how medical people should deal with, and that's pretty cool stuff too. Yeah.
Danny, we just talked to Danny, and
Danny Mason, she's the one who got the whole thing. I mean, I'm on the outskirts, so.
Yeah, really important work in the festival.
It's actually pretty wonderful. Yeah. Good. Well, thanks for all your interest and thanks for coming. Well, I'll check this out.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm going to check out the top 10.
Yes. I'll think about it and I'll send it to you.
I tend to do that, like the top 10 podcasts, the top 10, or just to expose myself to what's going on in the planet.
Oh, that's good. That's important.
It is.
Yeah.
It's also fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Right. Good to meet you. See you around. Just fully not on the step anymore. Do you have a film in the festival
I do
right
have
now?
a film in the festival. It's not animated.
That's okay.
Okay.
Tell us about your film.
My film is called Experience Tranquility. It's about a man who decides to attend VR therapy. It was originally produced whenever I was looking at attending grad schools. I decided not to attend grad schools because those cost money. And so instead, I've just been up here trying to make connections. I'm also a performer, and so I've been out performing live, working with the film, that sort of thing. So
Amazing. That sounds like a really interesting film. I want to see it already. You know, you did a good job with your log line.
I appreciate that. It's inspired a lot by the works of the two Davids, Lynch and Cronenberg. So
Beautiful. Love it. So since it's an animation podcast, would love to know what's your favorite piece of animation, any kind of animation?
Oh, God. Okay. I feel like I've got to say Miyazaki, but then it's like I have to narrow down which one. I will say Kiki's Delivery Service, just because, one, I saw it the most recently, recency bias. But I think especially as an artist, there's just something really heartwarming about that movie and something very telling in its message to let yourself rest and let yourself have a moment and just appreciate the beauty of what's around you. That's really what I love about his work, all those gorgeous landscapes. It's wonderful.
Yeah, we love Miyazaki for sure, and Kiki's Delivery Service is a favorite. It's so good. Yeah. Stephen Fraser, right? Yeah. I have a podcast called The Animator's Friend.
Okay.
So we're all into anime, and you made an animation, correct? Do you want to tell us about your film? It's called Keith.
Yeah, so the film's called Keith. It's a stop motion animation. It's a documentary, and it's based on an event that happened to me. So I'm from Scotland, and I live in Glasgow. And unfortunately, a few years ago, I happened to find a dead body, and I didn't know the person's name, and I thought that was really important to me. So I wanted to find out the person's name. So the documentary is me trying to find out that person's name. But being an autistic person, there was elements of communication, how I express myself. So I brought that into the documentary as well.
Incredible. I'm so, because it's showing tonight, right?
Yes,
I'm so excited to see it. So we want to ask you just a few questions because we love animators and we like to ask them questions that are like outside of kind of like industry and craft talk. So just wondering, like, what's the first work of art of any kind that made a meaningful impact on you as a young person?
Oh, probably like reading comic books. So not so much superhero comics, but when I was a kid, there was a comic in Scotland called The Beano. It was like a kid's comic, and it was just so fun and exciting that when I read that, I just knew that I wanted to draw. So from that, I started animating. So it meant a lot to me, and I was just like, I just love reading comics and really like visual, exciting stories. So that really inspired me.
Yeah. Good inspo, especially for animation, like as a jumping off point.
Yeah, definitely. I think that just I think there's a relationship in a way between comics and animation, and it's something that I just always like to explore and kind of develop more. Like I just constantly carry a sketchbook with me, so I'm constantly drawing, so that's really obviously helpful for animation. But I do stop motion as well, like Keith is a stop motion film. Just because I felt that I wanted to do something that was a bit more tangible that you could hold. So I like the idea of like making animation something that's physical. So that's what drew me to stop motion.
Amazing. Excited to see it. What is your favorite animation of all time? It could be any kind of animation.
Oh, that's such a difficult question. I don't know. Like I'm a massive fan of anime, and I really like the film Akira, which is obviously a really big one. But I just every time I watch it, I pick up something new because it's such like a well-made film. And there's so much in depth to it. And I just find it so exciting and to watch it. So it's probably my favorite film. I thought it's also a good one to recommend to people as well because it's like such a really great film that it could be like a jumping on point for people who want to get into animation, especially if they're a bit older because it's a mature subject and a science fiction movie. So so I always recommend that to people. And that's probably my favorite.
It's an incredible film. And then last question, just as a general thing, like what do you think is underrated?
I think it's underrated. I don't know. I think actually just short films in general. Like I think people can kind of overlook short movies and short animation. So I think that if you really like animation, like go to like a film festival and see if there's a shorts program for like short animation. I'm just going to say it. I know this festival has shorts, and I think it's really, really important because it's a good place for to find like new filmmakers and what's going to be happening next, rather than watching like feature films because they tend to have bigger budgets. And I think with short films, the animators can take more of they can be more expressive and be more experimental. So so I always think that short films are underrated. Yeah.
We do too. We love shorts on the Animators Friend podcast. You have a film in the festival? Can tell us a little bit about your film. What's your film called?
It's called Little Lamb. It's an experimental short about these dolls in a dollhouse, and they're getting watched, and they break free of this like pervasive watching figure over them, and they have autonomy. Yeah.
Sounds very cool. I forgot to introduce that we're the Animators Friend podcast. We love animation and animators. Is your film? It sounds like it's live action, but like I don't know. It almost sounds like maybe is there puppetry involved or no?
No, but there are masks, handmade masks, which not that close, but close enough.
Animation adjacent.
Animation appreciative.
Yeah. Is this your first time like at this festival showing work here?
It's not my first time. Yeah, I was here 2 years ago as well. Yeah.
Cool. Well, welcome back. So just want to ask you then, is your favorite animation of all time? Like any kind of animation?
All time. I think it has to be Princess Mononoke. Classic, but it makes me cry every time. It's the best. It's so timeless.
It's a great one. I'm weaseling my way in. Hello.
Hi.
I'm India.
Hi, I'm Bob.
Nice to meet you. I have a podcast called The Animator's Friend.
Okay.
And you have an animation right?
Yes, I do.
I know I have notes. Tell us about your film.
Well, my film was originally part of an anthology film that I spearheaded called Autistic Mode. For this, I just had to submit my own portion, which was feature length on its own, because they have a runtime limitation here and they want to have as many different voices here as possible. My film is Dreamcatchers. It's a sci-fi detective story, and I'm really excited to show it to people here on the big screen on a theater that I've been to many times myself over the years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And we like to ask animators questions that are a little bit not unusual, but like whatever for animators to get. Usually animators are always talking about craft and state of the industry, but we want to know, what's the first work of art that made a meaningful impact on you as a young person?
The first work of
art of any kind.
Well, it's odd. Like I grew up with like everything on like VHS when I was growing up and stuff being taped on TV. So like my exposure to certain movies is weird in the way that like you associate things. Like I grew up with Star Wars on VHS, but I grew up with it specifically from like a TV broadcast that had a Charlie Brown Valentine's Day special at the start. So for the longest time, I associated those two things completely together. The first piece of like anime, the first anime that I was really exposed to like at an early age was like, I wound up seeing Akira, I think at like age 8, because I had like older cousins and they would show you things that you weren't really allowed to watch a lot of the time. My own movie was inspired primarily by like 2 anime films that I'd seen like when I was a little bit older. Robot Carnival, which was a big like anthology film, which was big and influential for me in doing one of my own like that, and Project A-ko, which above all shows you like cute girls in sailor uniforms and fighting robots and things like that. But what I liked especially though is that like after a while you watch a lot of these pieces of anime, even at an early age, you begin to realize, okay, I'm seeing how they're animating in a way that's different from say Disney animation, which is all on 1s, or even Warner Brothers animation, which is largely on 2s. Once you begin to realize, okay, they're doing this on far fewer frames and sometimes on a bigger scale, it helps you put these things together in your head to figure out how you can try doing animation on your own, even if it's on a very limited scale. And those are all the things that I hope that like people, when they're watching, not just watching like the highly polished animation, but like to look at a lot of the stuff that like can be a bit more lo-fi that you can actually begin to approach and think, I can do that.
Amazing. Yeah, lots of great inspiration for you.
My movie's going to be showing tomorrow, Friday, it's part of a double feature that starts at 6, but my movie should be like at 7:15, I think.
Okay. How are you?
I'm doing. I mean, I am. It's great, but I just say I'm doing when it's like, just a lot of people are here, and I think it's like, I used to do theater. It's when you do theater, and it's like, oh God, what's going on? And now it's like, oh, people are here. Things are happening. And so I think that part's incredible.
Yes, it's like a very electric energy here right now.
Yeah, I mean, also like, I have some family members who are here, and they're saying how they feel like the energy is really good, and I agree with them. I mean, I think it's especially important since we have autistic media makers here that they feel comfortable in the space. So I'm glad that the team organizing this decided, let's do this first, then the program, then we can do our big reception at the end as a way to help people feel comfortable here. We also are going to have a quiet space set up on the 3rd floor of the museum if people want to decompress, and we have sensory kits available as well.
Amazing. So yeah, I forgot to introduce, but my podcast, it's called The Animator's Friend. My name is India. And yeah, we're here excited to be talking to the animators. You're the programmer for the festival, programs plenty of animation in this year. Is this your first time programming for this festival, or?
If you're here.
Okay, you're the programmer for the festival. Tell us how you got involved with it and how you've seen the festival grow over the last 5 years.
Yeah, I was recommended to the steering committee by Z Briggs. I had attended a puppetry workshop of hers at Museum of the Moving Image, and I was, I've been openly autistic I was diagnosed as a toddler, but more openly autistic in high school, and I think she saw how passionate I was and recommended me to the steering committee. And I grew from a volunteer to a consultant to this guest curator programmer position. And definitely I think that more people are paying attention to it. I know that we've gotten praise from Tony Spiridakis, for instance, which that's been really great. And I think that it's just more people are learning about it, more people are asking about it, more people are coming, people who have been here before, people who are new. And my main hope is that this community continues to grow, that there's more networking among the media makers, but also that we could just have this as a space and maybe even a source of inspiration for aspiring autistic media makers, but maybe also for people who are in this industry to be like, wow, there's so many autistic creatives out here. Maybe we could partner with organizations that are supporting them. Maybe we can hire autistic people to do, work. So, and, not just representation of films, but video games and virtual reality as well. So I really just hope that that's how this continues to grow as a spot of recognition and community and celebration.
Amazing. Important work that you guys are doing with the festival and beyond. So since it is an animation podcast, I got to ask you, what's your favorite animation of all time of any kind?
I have a special interest in animation. I can say some of my top films are The Land Before Time, Metropolis, not to be confused with the 1920s Metropolis based on the Osamu Tezuka characters, The Lion King, and there's this film called Ringing Bell, which is this cute styled tragedy. I have many other favorite animations as well, but I'd say that those are among my... I don't remember the name of the director, but I saw this anime feature called Scarlet, and that was incredible. I liked how it referenced and Shakespeare was based on Hamlet, and I grew up as a theater kid, so it was just the perfect combination of my interests to create this really surreal, incredible, dramatic film.
Amazing. A nice smattering of stuff for people to think about watching if they haven't seen those already. So yeah, really excited to be here and to be here for the opening and start watching films. And thanks for all your work that you've done with the festival.
Thank you for the support.
Yeah. So what's your name?
I'm Maxwell.
Maxwell. Okay, I'm India. I have a podcast called The Animator's Friend. But what you got an award?
I got it 4 years ago, though I have something else on display here tonight.
Oh, amazing. What are you showing tonight?
A game for iPhone I made.
Okay, cool.
Yes, I pretty much remade E.T. for the 2600, but it works.
Okay, very cool. So then, yeah, you're perfect guest for the podcast. We like games too.
Oh, sure.
So maybe tell us a little bit more about your game.
Yes, well, years ago I started going around taking photos with a Nintendo Game Boy camera. I'm that guy with a Game Boy camera all over. I just get called that guy. All right. Then I found out that with AI apps being what they are, they can actually assist any programmer with with programming. Now, I know how artists feel about AI. They don't like AI art. However, I believe that that if we can talk to AI the right way, we can get our games and apps made quicker, and that can give artists work. And hey, even my game, E2, The Extra Mission, hey, that has my artwork for my E.T. remake. Yeah, I drew an astronaut in a game.
Sounds very cool. Hope to get to see it. And can I ask, what's your favorite piece of animation of all time?
Oh, you know what? I'm just, you know what? I've watched cartoons all my life. It's just so hard. But I will say, I'm still quoting The Simpsons after all this time and still watching it. So I guess I'm going to give it to that.
We love The Simpsons. We love The Simpsons. Well, yeah, really great to meet you, and congrats on your award from a few years ago.
Yes, well.
Okay, so then I just want to give, special thanks to Renata and Justin, who are the publicists for this event. We were really excited to get to do this. Special thanks to Arnesh behind the camera. Couldn't do it without you, obviously. And that's it, I think.